Let's try again. Is it better?
Yes.
You can hear me and I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Um, welcome everyone. Welcome to Happy, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise with our very special guest today, Cher O'Rourke. And I'm going to introduce her. And if you're watching the replay or you're going to start slowly dripping in, we welcome you. On today, the time has changed. The show is normally in the morning, but due to the time difference, we've shifted to the afternoon. So some of you might be at work. That's okay. You can watch the replay. And we are so excited for this session of how to use our voice, how to bring our Tao Song out. And for the Christmas season, especially when we can sing and really open our hearts. So the last couple of weeks, it's been so busy, full of many special guests. We had Geshe Tashi from Sarah May Monastery, the abbot of Sarah May Monastery. Then we had David Lush, David Melzer, Cecilia Liu. We have Cher today, and we've got another special guest coming in next week, which I will announce maybe later on. So it's full of goodies. And I hope you're all getting value out of these all these episodes of wisdom, fun, joy, and raising our vibration and helping everyone to be happier and healthier. Using the last 10 months, we've been using the Tao Classic of Longevity and Immortality with beloved Henderson. Henderson, it's on another task, so he'll be back next week. So today I would like to introduce you to beloved Cher, and you're gonna hear her singing, her beautiful voice, how her journey, how she got here from being a she's been in the theater and film industry for 27 years. Wow, amazing. With many capacities as a performer and a technician, also a spiritual counselor and healer. And due to a serious case of chronic fatigue syndrome, which led her to find Dr. Master Shah, who has helped her on her healing journey to heal her with the condition. And during this process, this healing process, it involved using her heart and soul with guided Tao song and dance. So it's honored to share these practices with us and her teachings with us so that we too can discover our true nature, which is loving, all loving and healing. So please share with further ado. Please, can you tell us a little bit about your background, how your journey has been from being in the theater world, transforming into a teacher of Tao Song.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you, Huilan. I really appreciate the invitation. Hello, everyone. So it has been quite an extraordinary journey for me. You know, through my life, have had lots of incredible experiences working in theater and film for many, many years, as you shared, and then becoming um, a spiritual counselor, healer. And I myself went through my own period of being really challenged by illness and having chronic fatigue syndrome and having to really quit my work altogether and really for a few years just not do much at all but just look inwardly and try to understand what what it was that was, you know, challenging me, what the purpose of it was, and how to heal myself, you know. So I really tried many different things. I found Dr. and Master Shah, and ultimately he was the one who really helped me to heal from the chronic fatigue, you know, condition, and get my life back and really understand what the purpose of my life was and how I was going to go about that, how that was going to unfold. And part of that, you know, involved singing and learning how to sing, becoming a Tao Song teacher and practitioner myself, because that, the energy of that, the practice of that really changed my physiology. It changed my body, it changed my heart, it changed the way I thought and how I behaved in my life, really entirely. So I feel like a different person. And I met Master Shah 18 years ago, almost exactly. And so it was a huge transformation for me. And I'm here really to share some of that so that others can also benefit from these practices, from these teachings.
Um, so I'm going to interrupt you, Shaq. Is there any possibility you can, I think your voice is a little bit soft. Can you put the volume a little bit higher, do you think? Yeah. I mean, I can hear you, but it's very soft.
Yeah, I'm at maximum. Is that better? Is that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Cher. So what did you expect to, when when you found Dr. Master Shah, did you expect to be healed completely using song?
You know, I really hoped so, and I'll tell you why. Because I looked for many people to try to help me to heal, and I tried many different things, and I was really desperate. I was in that moment of ready to give up, give it all over, and just, you know, uh, really let it all go. And in that moment, Master Shah appeared to me in a vision. And so it was a very powerful message to me. I mean, that's not something that happens every day, but it happened for me. And when I saw him in that vision, I had a very strong instinct and knowing that he was the one, you know, who was going to help me, because he came to me, he appeared to me in that way. And so it was a matter of finding him, because of course I didn't know who he was. And then a friend a few days later brought me a magazine to read, and I opened the magazine and there was Master Shah's picture there, and he was doing a workshop downtown Toronto a few days later. And so I went there, and that's how I met him. So I knew that that connection, that relationship was vital, you know, for me, for my service, for what I was going to do going forward.
And so can you share a little bit about the Tao Song, what it is and how we can benefit and how we can tap into that for healing or um for as a seeker or a spiritual journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think most people know that singing, I mean, just singing anything, you know, is very good for us. You know, when we sing from a purely, you know, physiological level, we are, you know, expanding our lungs, we are expanding our diaphragm, we are bringing fresh oxygen and chi to the brain. You know, the vagus nerve, which is, you know, in charge of many aspects or flows through many aspects of the body, is becomes activated, when we sing, and that's nourishing for the whole body, the digestive system, the cardiovascular system, respiratory system, and so on. So just from that perspective, it is very good for us and healthy for us to do. It also brings us joy, and it activates endorphins in the body. So we feel good, when we sing. And what we sing, is important. Singing, things that carry, have positive messages, to them, or singing things that carry a higher vibration, help us even more. So there's that aspect of it. And then there is singing what is called our soul song. Every person, has a soul, has a spirit that is unique to them. And that soul, that spirit, has a particular vibration that is a healing vibration, a rejuvenating vibration. And that soul has messages, it carries intelligence, it has wisdom, and it carries messages that can support us and help us in life. And those messages can be expressed through what is called soul song. And every person's soul song is unique to them. And every person's soul song carries, as I mentioned, that healing vibration to it, that frequency. And so when we sing it, we are bringing about that vibration within every part of our being, our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, and our spiritual body. And others can also experience our vibration when we sing our soul song aloud. And we learn how to bring out our soul song through a very particular sacred mantra. And that is something that I teach, that others teach in various, kinds of workshops and so on. And it's such a liberating practice to do. People love it. They feel, oh my goodness, that sound, I feel it so deeply in every part of my being. I resonate with it. I don't really understand it, but I resonate with it. And the more you sing your soul song, the happier you can be, the deeper your healing can go, whatever you might be facing in life. Your connection, your relationship to others can increase and improve. And I'll share with you an experience, a personal experience. My mother, who's in the soul world now, a number of years ago, she developed Alzheimer's, and she lost her ability to speak English, her mother tongue. And so what I realized, and it was shortly after that I met Master Sha, and I learned how to bring out my soul language, my soul song, I realized that the only thing my mother could speak was soul language.
Wow.
And so I learned my soul language, how to bring it out, and I started to speak to her. And our whole relationship shifted because suddenly she felt heard and understood. And I taught, some of the people who worked in the residence where she lived also how to bring out their soul language. And so they were doing that with other Alzheimer patients, residents who struggled and felt not understood. And so there was a whole new level of communication, connection, peace, that happened, and cooperation, as a result of that.
That is so beautiful, Cher.
Mm.
Thank you for sharing that story. I mean, how about if people that are deaf or don't have a voice, how would soul language work on those levels?
Well, so language, can be spoken and expressed aloud, but it can also be spoken and expressed silently. And so, the sounds, the words vibrate, internally, and they vibrate on the level of soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter. And so, whether you are a hearing person or a non hearing person, you can still bring up and raise, your soul language, so that you would feel. And if you're a more sensitive person, some people are not as sensitive and they may not feel it so strongly. It can be a very strong vibration, but it can also be a very subtle one. And it is more subtle when it is experienced silently. So there is a way, for everyone to have that experience.
Okay. Maybe can you show us and what the differences are like between just a normal voice singing and a soul voice?
Sure, absolutely. So if I were to sing, for example, the Love, Peace, Harmony song, which you were playing earlier, of course, I'm singing the words of Love, Peace, Harmony. I love my heart and soul. I love all you see. So I could just sing the song, the words, the melody. But now, if I connect with my soul song, there are no specific words associated with soul song. But if I just connect now, and I will sing it for you. Ooh, they are sounds
Wow.
that
Wow.
come out. And I don't know what's going to come out. I just ask it to come forward and to express itself. And a first sound comes out, then a next, and a next, and a next. And there's a flow. And everyone's sound and song is very unique to them. And each one is beautiful in its own way and in the way that it expresses itself.
Can I just share my experience, yeah? That was just exquisite because when you sang the normal song, it was just, oh yeah, it's quite nice and pleasant. But when you shifted to the soul song, oh my goodness, my body was vibrating and tingling. So what does it mean? Like when you have the effects to make somebody vibrate or raise, I don't know, tingling, what does it mean to us?
What happens with this soul song is that it is connecting on a soul level with the other person. In this case, with you, my soul is connecting with your soul. My heart is connecting with your heart. And when that happens, the connection runs much deeper than a mind connection would be or a body connection would be. Those are wonderful connections also to make, but the heart and soul connection is much deeper. And so it is felt on the level of heart and soul. And also it's felt, within the body and mind. But there is a knowing and that resonance, that we have. You and I may have never met in this lifetime, but by virtue of us, coming together to do this program, your invitation to me, something, within you resonates with me. Something within me resonates with you. And that is something we may not always understand. We can understand it if we study it more. We can understand it more with the mind, but it's a higher vibrational connection. And so we feel it in that way, and we resonate in that way, and we recognize one another in that way, even if we can't always logically, explain it. So that's what's happening with the soul song. There's that beautiful communication and connection that is happening on the heart and soul level.
Okay. Would you be able to guide us to do a little bit, like to get a taste of this, and for us to tune into that? Is it possible to do it in a short time, just as an experience?
So there is a very specific practice to do to bring out one's soul language and soul song. And soul language comes first, typically, and then soul song typically follows that. Soul song is a higher vibration. So it would take a while, and I do those trainings, and I will be doing those trainings, earlier in 2023, and so people are welcome to join for that. But just to have a bit of an experience right now, if everyone could please just place your palm, at the heart chakra in the center of your chest here, and close your eyes for a moment. And I'll just guide you so that you can have some feeling or sensation of what your soul language, soul song may be. And just relax. Take a couple of nice, deep breaths. And just silently repeat after me. Dear my soul language, dear my soul song, dear my soul, heart, mind, and body, please help me to experience my soul song in this moment through my humming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now just take a moment to gently hum. And now just feel the vibration in your heart chakra. And then take a deep breath once again. And say thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was so beautiful, Cher. It was so intimate. You feel this deep connection, like like in a deep meditation that you drop into, and it takes you to another um I think just by going deep, like you're going back into your essence just
Yes.
by the humming. It was a
That's
very deep experience. So is
yes.
that all we have to do to kickstart our soul song?
That is one way to begin to connect internally with heart and soul, because we typically, as human beings, we're very connected to the outer world, with our activities, with all the things that we do each and every day, and with our relationships with others, and less so with the internal connection that we have with ourselves, with our own heart and soul, and with the heart and soul of others. So, one of the ways that we can begin to connect more deeply with heart and soul is to go inside, and the humming vibration is activating the vagus nerve, but it's also activating other parts of our being, in the sense of opening up our channel, because we have this central channel inside of us that we open through the chanting of mantras and other spiritual practices that we do. And when we hum, our humming connects us also to that channel, and especially within the area of the heart chakra. And that, yes, helps to deepen our connection with our heart and soul, and thereby opening our heart and soul up more to the liberation of our soul language, soul song. But there is a specific mantra and practice to fully bring out soul language and soul song, which I'll be doing a workshop in the new year.
When is your workshop, Cher? Can you tell us a little bit about the workshop happening next year?
Yes, I have. I'm sorry, I can't give you the exact date just now, but later in January, and I'll certainly be posting that information. Happy to share it with you, Huilan, if you want to share it with others.
Yeah.
And it will be posted in at Master Sha Dao Center Global, so people can participate, join. I'll be doing more with singing also in the new year, bringing together a community, more Tao Song practitioners, musicians, and so on to do more. So this is part of my role and the work that I do, and so I'm very excited to bring some of that to everybody in 2023. More of it.
Okay. So Tao Song is nothing to do with religion, right? It's not religious or dogmatic. Um,
Not
it
at all. Not at all. Tao is source of all creation. Tao is a oneness field, and we can think of it as source. So it honors everyone and everything, whatever people may believe. And um, that connection to source is really important for our health, for our well being. And Master Sha is, a Tao Grand Master, and he has a very special connection and channel to Source. So he can help us, open up our channel to do the same. And so practicing Tao Song specifically, or becoming a Tao Song practitioner, is a way to open that channel much further and to assist us to live our best life, really. That's what it's all about, and live a life of service to others, a life of more joy, more health, well-being, understanding, wisdom.
no, it sounds great. I mean, even just particularly I feel for people. I mean, I myself had a difficult time with speaking up or speaking out, coming from a family, that particularly in the Chinese culture, where when you're the youngest and being a girl, you're not supposed to have a voice. You have to be obedient, which means you can't speak out, you can't voice anything. And I've been having such trouble as an adult of speaking out and speaking up. So the Tao's, what you're doing, helping to open up this the throat chakra, the channel, that will be very healing, isn't it? For the voice to open up further.
Very much so. Very much so. And what it does is it's connecting us to our true nature, actually. Because as human beings, we can carry, a lot of different kinds of information and messages. Some of it is positive, some of it is negative, some of it is painful, some of it is hurtful. And our most loving and true nature is forgiving, is compassionate, and so on. And when we connect on the deepest parts of the heart and soul level through Tao practices, we are connecting to our more loving and compassionate, forgiving nature. And that is deeply, healing. So we can heal all of those things that we have learned through, you know, childhood conditioning and, sometimes parenting. And I think we can all, point to times in our childhood where the messages coming at us were not the most positive. We can only teach what we know. So in order to grow, in order to heal from any of those things or potential traumas, that may have happened, we need to focus on building our true nature. And Tao teachings do that. It's not a judgment of what, things we may have suffered or endured. It's just a healing of those things. So the Tao practices do that for us, and so it's about connecting with that nature that will bring about healing and transformation.
Thank you so much. That is so helpful. I'm gonna sign up. I
Great.
think everyone could do with more loving, to be more loving and self-expressive, to be in themselves and to really open a part of us that has been hidden or afraid of expressing ourselves because of conditioning. So I highly recommend that we join in the Tao Song because it's a really deep healing process. Imagine having a voice that you can fully open and to be able to express yourself, to be in your true nature, not needing validation, not needing permission from the outside, and just to be who you are and have fun singing with it. I think that it's just so amazing. And have you got any last words, Cher, before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to wish everyone, as we move into the holiday season, if you celebrate the holidays, if you don't celebrate the holidays, take the opportunity as we come to the end, of 2022 to sing and just find those songs or find those mantras, find those messages that you can sing and do just that and move the chi, the energy within your body, move the thoughts. Don't attach to any one thing, but just allow them to flow, to move so that you can access, your true nature through song. And I hope to see you in the new year, everybody. And look forward to connecting with you, Hui Lan, again. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Thank you so much, Cher, for coming on. We have Luce here, welcome. And I think most people will be watching the replay. And if you have any questions with the replay, please forward them to me and I'll connect with Cher. But look out on our page. I will post things to update you when Cher's workshops are in the new year. And hopefully you will begin the new year with a new voice and to be in yourself more fully so that you can grow and in your business, in your relationships, in all aspects of life that can help to transform you. And we are really, really looking forward to that. How exciting. Thank you so much, Cher. So we'll end here and I will see you all tomorrow for my meditation session at 7 a.m. in the morning for 30 minutes. And next Tuesday, we also have another special guest. I will inform you as I gather more information. And we are so happy to serve you. And please continue to watch the replay. If you enjoy this program, if you have feedback, questions, or just give us some love, likes, comment, so that other people can find us and they could benefit as well. So love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye now.